Pipeline. And joining us now from Capitol Hill, Republican Senator John Thune of South Dakota. I guess given where you're from, we should start with Keystone. But first, you kind of look good when we played the music, I have to say. Do you, sir, have presidential ambitions?
Not at the moment, Mika. Right now, we're working on trying to get the majority for the Republicans in the Senate in November.
Is this
not at the moment?
Can I quickly say?
Yeah, please, Meacham, historian.
Al Gore Sr. used to say, "There is not a United States senator who has ever drawn breath who has not seen a future president looking back in the mirror when he shaves."
I think.
Albert Jr. never met Barbara Mikulski.
And John McCain says the only thing that cures that is embalming fluid.
Oh, my Lord. Okay. Well, moving on. He did say not at the moment, for the record.
For the record.
And you know what? The Republicans could use
there's no presidential campaign
candidates.
at the moment.
There is no campaign. If there was a campaign at this moment, sir, would you be in it?
Well, there is a campaign, but it's for the midterm elections and to try and win the majority in the Senate. So that's the focus right now, and then we'll worry about 16 after that.
All right, let's talk Keystone. Is there a deal that could be made? By the way, which we've been talking here on the set about how perhaps...
We've made the deal.
We've done it. Minimum wage increase over the years.
Infrastructure
Keystone
investment
goes through. What do you think?
Well, I think you guys, I've been listening to the discussion this morning, and you've got a good little interaction going there, and if you were the Congress, we might have this all resolved by now. I think the problem that we have with the minimum wage is, and I've said this many times before, is everybody says it's going to cost jobs. To me, the best way into the middle class is a good paying job. And the minimum wage, if it's raised, they say will cost up to 1 million jobs, and it will raise prices for everybody in the economy, particularly those people in low income categories. And of the job losses that would occur by 2016, if the minimum wage was increased, 57% of those would be lost by women. And so you've got people who are going to be disproportionately impacted by that. Now, on the other hand, the Keystone Pipeline creates jobs. And we know that that would have shovel-ready jobs associated with it. And you heard Senator Landrieu this morning talking about the energy independence issue, which I think is really important. I think the American people get that.
Senator, I beg to differ with the math that you're doing about a potential minimum wage increase, because also the argument is that people will be being paid more and there'll be more money turned back into the economy. I mean, just can we ask you in this way, do you really think people should be paid the current minimum wage?
Well, I don't think anybody ought to be paid the minimum wage, Meek. I'd like to see everybody be paid a lot more, but the way you do that is to get a growing, expanding economy. That raises the demand for labor, and that means people are going to have to pay more to hire people. Right now, we've got a stagnant economy, grew 0.1% in the first quarter of this year. The real issue here is to get the economy growing and expanding, and that'll throw off better paying jobs, and that raises everybody's income into the middle class. And by the way, that's not my numbers. The Congressional Budget Office that says that we'll lose up to 1 million jobs, and that's consistent with what I hear from small businesses that I talk to in my state of South Dakota. And the other thing I'll mention is South Dakota's got this on the ballot this year. There are states that are voting on this.
John Meacham, I'll toss it to you. I mean, are really people being made to be paid $7.25 an hour? It's supposed to wait until the economy expands to a certain extent. That could be years.
Well, the other thing that this goes to, which all of us know, is there are two economies at least in the country. There's the financially driven economy. The top are doing extremely well. The markets are up.
And then there are people being paid $7.25 an hour who can't live in it and who are basically on the poverty line.
And you have the household income going down over a significant period of time. I'm just curious from the Senator, is there something that in a kind of grand bargain setting you would trade, you would concede to raise the minimum wage if you got something like an energy bill that appealed to you and your constituents? Is this a negotiable issue?
Well, look, John, I've voted for minimum wage increases in the past when they were coupled with things that we thought actually would create jobs. The problem that we have, and I'm somebody who worked for minimum wage. I think a lot of people can identify and associate with people who are working at minimum wage levels. A lot of those people are going to be younger people, first jobs, entry-level jobs. In my state of South Dakota, a lot of seasonal work. We need those jobs, and some of those jobs are going to go go away if you raise the minimum wage. Now, having said that, I think that if you were looking at a 40-hour work week, going back to that, doing some things on Keystone, things that we actually believe will create jobs, that would be a discussion I think Republicans would be willing to have. But right now, we're not getting any indication from the Democrat leadership in the Senate that they're willing to entertain votes on those issues. And we're trying just to get some votes on energy issues as in the midst of this current energy efficiency legislation debate. And Senator Reid, at least right now, is suggesting there aren't going to be any votes on energy amendments. I hope he's wrong.
Senator, I'll just time for a quick yes or no. I think is human behavior contributing to climate change in a dangerous way that threatens the planet?
Well, I mean, I think that there's obviously a debate about that. And my own view is if you accept that premise, the next question is, what are we going to do about it and at what cost?
So you
and
accept
I think
the premise or not?
Well, I think there are a lot of things that are going on today that perhaps contribute to it. I'm not denying that. I'm simply saying that the debate ought to be, what are we going to do about it and at what cost? And you have to do it in a way that doesn't completely crush the economy and destroy jobs for a lot of people in this country when the environmental gains are going to be very, very minimal, because you still have a world that is not going to play by the same rules that we play by.
All right, Senator John Thune. A little slippery today.
Thanks.
I'm just saying.
You asked about the Easter Bunny.
That wasn't anything. Right. No Easter. No, I will not do that. I really like this man.
Thanks, Mika.
Take care. Good to see you.